Hi friends, this is Selvajin here. Welcome to my networking channel. Hope all are doing good. And today let us discuss about totally NSSA issue. OSPO totally NSSA issue. The point in bringing this video, you have to understand the difference between NSSA and totally NSSA. So NSSA is nothing but not so stubby area. So what is not so stubby area? It will allow the type 1 and type 2 LSA. But if the external route exists within this ASBR, this is an R3 is an ASBR which will allow the external routes advertised into this OSPF domain as a type 7 LSA. That is special LSA, OSPF LSA, what we call it as a type 7 LSA. So that is the benefit of totally NSSA. Still it allow this type 7 LSA, AGRP routes advertised into the OSPF domain as a type 7 LSA. But here there is a communication error I am seeing between PC1 to PC2. Since it's allow this EAGRP domain, why the PC1 I am not able to reach PC2? So that is a issue here. So today we need to go and fix the issue. So here I configured R1, R2 and R3. So this I configured in area 0 and this in area 1, and all this I configured in a OSPF domain, and R3 to R4 I configured in an EAGRP domain, and this I configured as an autonomous system boundary router. So this router, what it does, it redistributes the EAGRP routing domain into the OSPF routing domain. So now let us go to the individual router and let us check the routing entries. So let us go to R1, let us do a show IP OSPF database. So let us go to see. We are not seeing the type 5 LSA, right? It should advertise as a type 5 LSA, external LSA, we are not seeing. So let us go to now R3 first. Let us start from R3. I'm going to do a show IP OSPF database. So I already told it should advertise as a type 7 LSA. These external AGRP routes, we are not seeing the external LSA route, right? Type 7 LSA not seeing. Let us see the routing entry, show IP route. So we are seeing the entries 2.0 and the directly connected interfaces, but we are not seeing the external routes. Similarly, let us go to R1 and let us see the routing table, show IP route. So in this routing entry, it should show this database, right? It should show this external LSE or this external route. It should show, let us see. But we are not seeing the external route in the R1. Let us go to R1. Here it is showing only the directly connected interface and an inter-area route, right? But we are not seeing the external route. That external route is nothing but I have to see this 192.168.3 dot series and 117.20 dot subnet. So this both the subnet, it is not getting advertised in the R1 routing table. So that is the issue. So what we can do, let us do a ping to the directly connected interface and the remote interface. So now we'll come to know where the issue exactly arises. So let us go to R1. Let us do a ping 192.168.1.1, 1.2, 2.1 I'm able to ping, and 2.2 I'm able to reach. So I'm able to reach till 2.2, but let us now ping 3.1. So 3.1 I am not able to reach. So obviously the issue is in this R3 router. Yeah, that's the autonomous system boundary router. So we have to troubleshoot between R3 and R4 connectivity. So before that, let us ping the PC1 to PC2. I'm not able to piece, right? It is showing destination unreachable. There is some issue in the R3 router. So now let us go to R3. I already told this both the things I configured as an NSSA, not so stubby area. So NSSA is exceptional to OSP because still it allows this external route advertised as a type 7 LSA. So still it is not getting advertised. That is the issue. Now let us go and check the issue. Show run include NSSA. See, there is a no redistribution keyword. This keyword, what is happening? This keyword is not allowing these EAGRP routes advertised into the OSPF routing domain. So let us remove this keyword. Go to router OSPF 100, no area 1, NSSA, no redistribution. Sorry, no redistribution. Then let us configure the NSSA again. So there is no issue in the NSSA. If both the routers R2 and R3, if I am configuring as a NSSA, there is no issue. Still, it will allow the EAGRP routes into the OSPF domain. That is the main point I brought this video. So now let us check it out. Do a show IP OSPF database. So now you can see the type 7 LSA, right? You are seeing the external routes. That is the external 20 and this subnet, both the same I'm able to see. And also let us check in R1 routing table. Let us do a show IP OSPF database. So keep it in mind. Another thing I want to show you, this will advertise the type 7 LSA. So R2 you'll see both type 7 and type 5 LSA. That is external LSA. When it comes to R1 only you'll see type 5 LSA. So that is the thing I want to show you. Let us go to R2. Show IP OSPF database. So here you are seeing this both the type 1, type 2, type 3, And additionally, you will see two LSA. There is a type 7 LSA, both are one and the same. So whenever it will advertise, a type 7 LSA. When it comes to R2, it will convert into a type 5 LSA. So type 5 LSA and type 7 LSA both are one and the same. It is showing as an external LSA. And let us see the routing entries. Show IP route. So it will show as a ON2. N2 is nothing but a not so stub area. That is the external route. It shows as a ON2 in the OSPF routing domain. You are able to see, right? Similar way, when it comes to R1, you can see the difference. So R1 in the OSPF database, it will appear as a type 5 external database. So type 7 will be converted into type 5. That is nothing but a external to the OSPF. That is a non-OSPF domain. Now let us see the routing entry. Show IP route. So show IP route, you can see it as OE2, right? You are able to see the external domain on both external domain. So now let us do a basic ping from PC1 to PC2. Let us see. So I'm able to reach PC1 to PC2, and also I'm able to reach from PC2 to PC1. Let us ping 172.16.10.2. So I'm able to reach from both PC1 to PC2, and the issue is with the redistribution keyword. So R3 and R2 I can configure as a NSSA. Only thing I have to check for the no redistribution keyword. That keyword is blocking the EHRP routes into the OSPF domain. So after removing that keyword, now everything is working fine, right? So this is how you have to go and debug the not so stub area issue. So there are two benefits. First thing, we can understand what is an exact area thing. And second thing, we can understand where the issue exactly arises, right? So I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Thank you and have a wonderful day.